Hi, I'm Rob Rennick, and this is my first game report for EDCT 7022 Digital Game-Based Learning. For this report, I'm going to be talking about a tabletop board game called The Resistance. The Resistance is an off-the-shelf commercial game with hidden role and social deduction mechanics. It was designed by Don Eskridge and published by Indie Boards and Cards. In The Resistance, players assume the roles of a group of freedom fighters living in a future dystopia. The group knows they can end the rule of the oppressive regime if they can succeed on just 3 of 5 crucial missions. However, they also know that there are spies in their midst who will attempt to thwart their plans. Before the game begins, each player learns secretly if they are a true member of the Resistance or a spy. The spies will know who the other spies are, but the Resistance members have no information about who is on their side. The game is played in a number of rounds. Players will consult the board to determine which mission they are on and the size of the team needed for the mission. One player, who has the leader token, proposes a team for the mission. Then the group votes on whether or not the team should be approved. If a team is not approved, the leader token passes clockwise to the next player, who nominates a new team. If the team is approved, each member of the mission team gets 2 cards. One says success, the other says fail. Each team member will secretly play one of the cards and discard the other. If a player is a Resistance member, she must play the success card. But if a spy is on the mission, he can play either card he chooses. Once all the cards have been played, they are shuffled and revealed. If they are all successes, the Resistance has completed the mission and is one step closer to a better world. But if even one card is a fail, the mission has been sabotaged. The Resistance team wins if they manage to successfully complete 3 of the 5 missions. The spy team has 2 win conditions. First, they win if they manage to sabotage 3 of the 5 missions. Second, the spies win if, after 5 votes in a row, the group cannot agree on a team to send for this mission.
It should be noted that during every part of the game, players are encouraged to talk with one another and make plans together, as well as try and determine who the spies among them are. It's also important to recognize that during these discussions, players can say whatever they want. They can be honest or not so honest in their dealings with the group. Playing the Resistance is a paranoia-fueled delight. The feeling of not knowing who you can trust for sure has you on edge the whole time if you're a member of the Resistance. As a spy, the anxiety is even higher as you try not to be found out. As a Resistance member, I find myself paying attention to every little detail of people's tone, body language, the content of what they're saying, trying so desperately to determine who is a spy. What will tip me off? Will it be a crucial vote? A knowing glance between 2 spies? Some sort of nervous tick? As a spy, I'm trying hard to keep a straight face and throw the Resistance off my trail. I might throw one of my compatriots under the bus in order to earn trust. Or I might throw accusations at an innocent Resistance member trying to sow the seeds of mistrust. Whatever I do, I have to do it in such a way that I don't let the Resistance members know my true intentions. As a certified facilitator for the Student Leadership Challenge, I can see this game being particularly useful for teaching some leadership principles. There are 3 leadership principles I'd like to discuss today. The first principle I'd like to discuss is related to trust. Gaining trust is hard. Losing trust is easy. And regaining lost trust, well, that's nearly impossible. During all my plays of the Resistance, this principle is almost always illustrated. Someone inevitably loses the trust of the group by doing some small thing, usually something that seems innocuous to them, and never regains the trust of the group the entire rest of the game. The other thing that I see happen quite often is over the course of the game, 1 or 2, maybe even 3 players begin to say that they trust each other, and they act accordingly. It's fascinating to watch. Some questions that might help drive discussion and reflection about this point might be, who did you trust? Why? Who did you mistrust? Why? Did you find yourself changing your opinion about anyone? In what ways? Once you lost trust in someone, how difficult was it for them to earn it back? What does this have to do with your own real-life leadership? What are the implications or applications? The second principle I'd like to discuss is that leadership does not require a position or title. I love that the leader token passes around the table each round. Although only one person is the leader at a given time, and that person does have the sole authority to nominate a team, other players often emerge to lead the conversation about who should be selected. If the player with the leader token does not listen to those informal leaders, the team they select will not be approved. Some questions that will help facilitate discussion around this point are, did anyone have significant influence over the group? Why? What did this mean for the person with the leader token? What does this tell us about leadership? Is a title or a position required in order to lead? What does leadership without a title look like? How does this matter to you and your life? The final principle I'd like to discuss is related but distinct from the first two. When a person is in a position of power, listening becomes even more important. Almost every player will, throughout the course of the game, have the opportunity to be the leader. If the person in this position decides to act unilaterally, it does not go well for them. There's a loss of trust that can never be regained. Instead, they must strike a compromise between what they want to do and the will of the group. Leaders in real life must also listen to their constituents and make sure everyone feels as though they matter and are contributing. If they fail to do so, they will find themselves with nobody to lead in very short order. Here are some questions that can help guide discussion about this point. What was it like being the leader? Did anyone fail to listen to the group as the leader? What happened when they did that? What do people in real life do when they feel like a leader isn't listening to their input? What does this mean for your own leadership? Well, we reached the end of my gameplay report for the Resistance. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. I'd also love to hear about it if you've used the Resistance to teach leadership or anything else for that matter. Until next time, this is Rob Rennick signing off.